Hi, my name is Morten, and in this video we will be talking about orders and baskets in e-commerce and how they work. So the first thing, start with a basket. A visitor joins your website and eventually figures out that he wants to purchase something. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. At that point, when the customer adds a product to his order, it will become a basket. A basket is created when you add something to their cart the first time, and then you have the ability to further add more products and do the checkout. This is standard commerce functionality, standard checkout flows, standard everything. In e-commerce, let's take a look at how that works. First thing you need to be aware of is that when a customer places something in his cart, a link to his basket will be created for the user's computer. This is done via cookies. And the way it works is that a cookie will point to a basket in the database of e-commerce. This means that e-commerce will contain all the data, and you will be able to see exactly what's going on in your store today. It also means that you will have the ability to add in business logic to, for example, do some abandoned basket functionality and a win-back opportunity flow. But that's all something that we can cover in another video in another rainy day. But this is a good piece of information to further understand how the order management system in e-commerce works. So I have a basket on my computer, so let's go into the back office and see how it looks in there. Under the order section, I can expand the node here and see all the different order statuses that are relevant for my business. This is what e-commerce ships with out of the box, and that does not necessarily mean that it matches what you need. Luckily, in e-commerce you can define your own order statuses and define how it looks in the back office. So there may be order statuses that you don't want to show. For example, baskets are hidden per default because there is probably a ton of them, and you are not necessarily interested in, as a store manager, to review every one of those. You can also search for it, which means that if you don't have the order status surfaced here, you can always just say, I want to look for a basket where the first name of the customer is Morten. And then you can search for the order and find it in case that you need it. But it's up to you to define if you do, and then you can of course show it in the back office if you need to. The order statuses here is really a way to express how the reality of your world is. So if you have something called shipping, and that's an important state for you, then go ahead and create it as an order status so you can put your orders into it and see the flow of all the different orders that you have. It's possible with e-commerce, and it's a single create inside the database, and then you're good to go. Besides this, when you have different order statuses, you're of course interested in figuring out what is the flow. So when my order has been placed, what is the next natural step for my order? That could, for example, be either the customer calls in and cancels the order. Well, then you should have the ability to put it into that state. But the next normal natural state would be that you complete the order and ship off the order. So those steps can be modeled inside the order management system in e-commerce and be surfaced as different order statuses. You can further talk with a developer or a web agency on how you want to handle that event that an order now changes states. Maybe you want to have some custom business logic attached to that, and you want an email sent out. Maybe you want to inform someone in your department. Or maybe you just have an ERP system sitting somewhere and you want to handle the order in there, and thus the order should be exported when it has been placed. All of these capabilities can be implemented in the order management system with e-commerce based on the extensibility model that we offer. All orders are passed through a system we call pipelines, which are basically events that developers can hook into and create custom business logic that are executed at the time when it's needed. So really here you have a lot of different capabilities to let WooCommerce adapt into the reality of what you have. With that said, let's try to take a look at the actual order editor of WooCommerce and what capabilities we have here, because it allows you to, of course, manage your orders when they have been placed and configure how the different aspects of the order should be maintainable and what you can do. Let's take a look at a placed order here. Every time an order is placed on the web shop, it will land in the order status called new order. In here, as a store manager, I can now have an overview of all the different orders I have, and I can immediately, if I want to, bulk update them and change order status if I need to. But I can of course also go in and maintain the individual orders. So let's try to take a look at that. As a store manager and as a business owner, it's also important that I can set up who has access for what. So in the security foundation of WooCommerce that there's a separate video about, you will be able to see how you can limit the different capabilities of the different store managers on what they can do with the order. In here, per default, you can maintain all aspects of the order if I have the necessary authorization to do so as a user logging into the back office. Per order status, you can configure if your order should be editable or not, or if you can change the order status and what order status you can change them into. All that is done once, and then it will be valid for all the different orders in all the different states. When an order has been placed out of the box, you will be able to go in and change all aspects, but you can of course change that if you need to. I have an overview of my order here where I can see who actually purchased it, and I can see basic information like what's the order number, when was it placed, when was it created, and what's the currency of the order. Then I can go in and change the aspects if I need to. I can go in, I can add or remove or change quantities of the individual order lines. I can even change the list price. So here I actually have a free product, so I can of course go in and change the list price if I want to, or change the quantity. I can also see what discounts has been associated with this order. None has been added here. As a store manager, I can go in and custom add a discount should the user, for example, be a little angry or sad because they had a bad experience. Then you can go in and give a discount that soothes them up, so to speak. You can see information around the shipments. So my shipment here is what the user has entered, but what if something is out of stock? What if I need to ship over multiple shipments? Then that's not something the user necessarily need to take a decision about. Usually they just deal with their delivery address, and then the store managers will go in and figure out the rest. On orders, you can have multiple shipments where each order line on the order is attached to a certain shipment that will then be able to have some costs. So if I need to, I can go in and create or remove shipment details so that it reflects how my order is shipped. Payment details will be surfaced here as well. WooCommerce allows multiple payment methods to be used, so I can have multiple payments. Pay by gift card, pay by credit card, pay by invoice. All of that is possible, and you can have multiple payments on there as well. Typically, we don't want the store managers to tamper with that because it's transactional data, but you have an overview so you can see what's going on with the order. Lastly, we have something called audits, which are basically information around what has happened with the order at what point. You can add in custom audit messages up here, but usually it will be something that automatically arrives here when an order changes state or something like that. So in here you have the full overview of your orders, and you have the capabilities of maintaining all aspects in case you need to. Once you're happy with the order, you can then go in and change the status of the order by clicking on Change Status. And that will give you a dialog where you can then either go to the next natural way in the order management flow. For example, completed in case you don't need to do anything further, or a custom order status if you need to. Or you can also change it into to order statuses that are always available. For example, at any given time I should be able to cancel an order. So after I have reviewed my order and I change the status, then uCommerce will automatically replace the order where it belongs to, and then execute the associated pipeline for the order status that the order arrived in, and thus giving you the capability of fulfilling all the different custom business logic that are relevant for your business. And once it has updated status, I can of course still change into the next one or cancel it until my order is either completely done, shipped, or cancelled. So that's it. That's the order management system of uCommerce. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one.